start. She became a force her sophomore season, earning second team All-Lone Star Conference North Division as the Broncos won that division title. She also an all-tournament pick in the South Central Regional, where UCO lost to West Texas in the finals. Beckley earned first-team All-LSC North honor her junior year, as well as all-region selection. She helped the team to a 22-8 record and a third straight national tournament appearance. During her senior season, Beckley averaged 19.5 points a game, led UCO back to the Sweet 16, and earned first-team All-LSC North, first-team All-South Central Region, and third-team All-American honors. She was also an all-tournament pick, again in the South Central Regional. Beckley scored the game-winning basket with 4.8 seconds left in a 65-64 win over Washburn before a big 22-point, 12-rebound performance to knock off number 1 seed Northeastern State in the semifinals. Beckley set single-season records for points, 623, scoring average 19.5, free throws made 199, and free throws attempted 261. She ended her career as UCO's leader in free throws made and attempted, while ranking second in points, field goals made and attempted, and fifth in rebounds. The great Ashley Beckley from Turpin is joining us now this morning in Oklahoma City on the Sports Guys. Ashley, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Hey, great to have you with us, Ashley. And for listeners here who know you or knew you when you were in Turpin, just have to ask first, your last name Turnius now. What keeps you busy nowadays in Oklahoma City?
Well, that would definitely be my 2 children. I've got a daughter, Remy Turnius, who is a 3-year-old going on 13. And then I've got a little boy about to turn 2, Crew. So they are 17 months apart, so we have quite the circus going on daily at home.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Bless your heart. 3 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
You are on your toes and chasing those 2 around. Well, that's awesome. Your daughter's 3 going on 13 already. So love the personality coming out there. Ashley, it's been a while since you had the ceremony. It was back in September, but what does it mean to you today to be part of that, have that kind of run, and now be recognized as being part of the UCO Hall of Fame at obviously such a great school and tradition?
Well, I think anybody wants to be recognized for, a lot of the work that they put into something. So, of course, it was a great evening to be honored for the hours that I've spent in the gym, but also I've been really blessed along the way with just amazing parents, great support from the community, and honestly, from the one above, God, I went throughout my whole career, and I never had any major injuries, which is hard to not do in a sport when you're playing it that much. So it was a great night. I got to go up there and kind of talk about my journey to everyone, and then of course they fed us, and then I got to celebrate with my family afterwards. So it was a great night.
And if you would, Ashley, in your words, you don't have to do the speech again, don't worry, but paraphrase your journey. What did you tell people that night about Ashley Beckley and how it turned out so well?
Gosh, I mean, honestly, it had a lot to do with the people who helped to get me to where I was able to get this accomplishment. I mean, mainly my parents. My gosh, living in Turpin, we traveled to the city a lot for AAU practice. I mean, it was 2 times a week. That's a 4-hour drive. As most people in the Panhandle know, there's not a lot to look at on that way. So it was a lot of hours on the road, and my parents sacrificed a lot. I went 2 days a week to the city for practice. We would get out of school about 3:15, get in the car, and, come down to the city, have practice, probably headed back around 10. And, there was nights we didn't get home till 1 a.m. And so, I was expected to be at school the next day, and my parents had to go to work. So, there was just this high expectation, and if this is what I want to do, this is what we're going to do. So My parents, I think, now that I'm a parent, I recognize that, you want to protect your kids. It's so easy to want to protect them from everything, but probably one of the best things my parents did was they challenged me always when situations came up, and they pushed me. And they always helped walk me through how to handle that situation, which obviously helps me in basketball, but in general life. And that's kind of what helped build my character and who I am today. So honestly, the biggest people who influenced me was, without a doubt, my parents.
Now
They're solid.
That's so good, Ashley. And we have so many listeners out there. They're young kids are trying to make it in a sport, and that's such a good story there about you coming up in there. And then, of course, your time at Turpin High School. Played for Coach Castleberry there first. Went to state in your freshman year, and then you played for Monty Wallace the next 3 years there at Turpin High School. So before we talk about UCO time, it's the UCO Hall of Fame, but we always want to talk about your time as a Turpin Cardinal. What are your most fond memories of those high school years?
That would definitely have to be, my freshman year, because we made it to state, right? So kind of a younger team, and we went all the way to state. I think we got knocked out that first round, but we actually took the long road. So we got beat early on, and we had to win 6 games to get to the state championship, which obviously most people are thinking, yeah, right, that's not going to happen, right? So we did that thing, and I'll just never forget the game that pushed us to state. I can't remember who we were playing, but Allie Mashmeyer literally made like 6 3-pointers in a row. She was just on fire, and the crowd was going crazy. That is absolutely, without a doubt, my best memory is, Allie Mashmeyer was rocking like Converse, old school, baby, like flat shoes. You're like, how in the world is she playing basketball in those things? And she is just busting out these 3-pointers, and the crowd was going crazy. It was awesome. So that's definitely like my best memory. But obviously, I loved growing up in Turpin, small town community. Everybody really supporting everybody, and everybody was at all the games. It's what you did on a Friday night, Tuesday night for basketball. Like, you were at the game. So always had tons of support, and it was just a great environment.
Then you make the decision, relatively, you're going to the big city now. You're going to Oklahoma City area, you're going Edmond, you're going big school, UCO, and you get there. I would imagine, as talented as you are, you had a lot of success, but I would imagine there were some real trials in there too. Ashley, what were those first year or two like there at UCO?
Oh, sure. I absolutely. I think it's easy to look at success and just think it was all fun and games, but there's a lot of failures along my journey. So my freshman year going into college basketball, there's just another level of college ball that is eye-opening, I think, for a lot of college athletes, but it was a big one for me. I struggled my freshman year, actually. It was just a different tempo I struggled to figure out. Defense in college basketball is a whole different level, and I was slow. My shot struggled my freshman year, and the worst part was my confidence got just really challenged. And when you don't have confidence in sport, well, probably in most things, people would argue, you're going to see. And so I actually wanted to quit. The thought crossed my mind, man, is this really for me? Like, everything I've worked for, like, what have I been doing? And I had all these thoughts going in my head. I'm human. I was struggling. But the best part is how my parents have raised me my whole life is to persevere. Like, they helped push me so much in that area to where it was just another opportunity. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay complacent, or are you going to push through this and try and get better? And I've always been a firm believer of surrounding yourself with people who are better than you at something. And that's what I did. I stepped up to the challenge, and I started working on my game. My parents helped give me a personal trainer that next summer. I was working 24/7. I was in the gym more than anybody else. And slowly but surely, it started clicking. And I started to feel my rhythm coming back. And it finally, I'll never forget, during a scrimmage one, I think it was like going into my sophomore year, my coach, Coach Hardacre, for UCO, he was like, "Hey, Beck, That's what they called me. That was my nickname. And he said, "It's starting to click, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And from then on, I just kept going, and it just kept rolling. But definitely, there were a lot of challenges along the way. Even in high school, there's situations that come up where, there's people that doubt you, or people trying to pull you down, or small injuries here and there, and you just got to persevere. Like, you've got to be internally motivated and tell yourself, this is what I want. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm going to go do it. And I think that's one of the strengths that the good Lord gave me is I'm just really, really consistent, disciplined, and very motivated. I love a challenge, and if I want to do something, I'm going to go do it. And that's not being arrogant. That's me having a goal and being driven to go get it and do whatever I need to do to make it happen.
I really hope every athlete in our area is listening to you here this morning. Ashley Beckley, now Ashley Turnius, is joining us here on Sports Guys, inducted into the UCO Hall of Fame in that program here back in September. Of course, she is from Turpin. And the most gratifying part of the Hall of Fame weekend, that was what, Ashley? Going back there to UCO, seeing people reminiscing. What were some of the things that were really fun about that event?
Yeah, sure. Probably just seeing people I haven't seen in a while. I had Mike Kirk, actually. It was a guy that wrote all of our sports articles when I was in college, and he actually got inducted into the Hall of Fame because he was retiring. And so I got to see him. He was a part of the big day as well, and catch up with him. Of course, I got to see Coach Hardiker, my coach, huge influence for me and my journey. And then honestly, just sitting there during the ceremony and just listening to everybody's testimony. We had wrestlers, we had football players getting up there and just, listening to their journey and seeing who and what helped get them get to where they are today. And so, yeah, it's catching up with everyone, seeing what facilities have changed. Wow, there's been a lot of changes in 10 years. So it was just a really cool day. We actually got to go back the day after to a football game, and they honored us there at halftime. So we got to see a lot of the facilities and the upgrades that they've done over the years as well. So
now, you mentioned the work that you put in. How would you describe your workout regimen, be it summer, be it regular season, that helped you get to that level? So people hear, what it takes to play at the level that you did.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's a lot of hours. I've always had the mindset to be the hardest worker in the gym. But I also just really kind of compete with myself too. As odd as that sounds, at a young age, I was truly outside every day after school. I would come home, we had a basketball goal, and many people who know where we lived, it was a long driveway, and if I didn't make it, the ball would literally roll all the way down the driveway. And I can remember, just me being the competitive person I am, every time you don't make a shot, Ashley, when that ball bounces and starts rolling quickly down the driveway, you have to get it before it hits the end. And I can remember just silly things like that. So that just kind of paints a picture of how competitive I am. Literally nobody around, and that's what I was doing. I'm playing in my yard. But besides, obviously, just like when I was young, putting in a lot of hours in my driveway. Once I could go up to the gym, my mom, of course, was driving me up there so I could get more buckets in. And then all of the AAU and MAYD extra games that I was putting in during other seasons of, when we were in softball, I was putting extra hours in then. In basketball, whenever we were in track, that's when I was hopping in the car after school or after track practice to head to basketball practice. And then obviously in college, anytime I wasn't in class, even if we didn't have practice, I was in the gym. That's what it takes, I get frustrated sometimes with people, like, when they talk about professional athletes, and they're like, oh, they're born with this talent. And, sure, sure, they're born with talent, but I don't think people recognize the amount of work you have to put into something. You know, they're spending hours in the gym to work on their game, and that's what it takes to be that next level. And you know, if there's kids out there wanting to play college sports, my best advice would be, when you're tired, go one more, because somebody else out there is. There is somebody else out there working just as hard as you. And so when you think you've got nothing left, go one more, because it's in there. Your head's going to tell you to quit, but your body can always do more. So I just always have tried to live with that mindset. Just keep going. God gave you this healthy body. Why would you not push it to the fullest extent that you can? So I'm probably all over the place with that, but
no, that's cool.
I enjoy the process of work. And that's really weird, and I'm kind of a weird person, but I do. I enjoy working hard, and I think that's probably odd, but that's really a lot of how I'm molded and who I am. I enjoy the journey, the ups and downs of hard work.
Love it. Ashley Beckley, and now it all led her to be prepared to chase a 3-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son around today, right?
That's right. I'm definitely still doing suicide, just in a different extent.
Make sure you touch the line. That's
right.
Great. Ashley Beckley, Ashley turning us now. So grateful for you taking time to talk with us this morning and share your stories and successes and what it took to get there. That was pure gold. Ashley, thank you for your time this morning. You have a great day down in Oklahoma City, and thank you again.
You bet. Thank you, Brock. Appreciate it.
Congrats to Ashley Beckley, UCO Hall of Fame from right here in Turpin, Oklahoma. Next up, Al Shank Insurance Tomahawk Talk, Liberal High Athletic Director